Hello everyone and welcome back to another tutorial in Golang. In this tutorial I want to talk about decoding. In the last tutorial I believe I talked about this unmarshal JSON, and as I said before we use unmarshal just for local disk files, anything else. Otherwise we will use decoder. And this is the best way to, for example, decode the request API response body, and we will do it in this tutorial. So in this tutorial we will make a GET request to this JSON placeholder. It's a fake API, free one, and we will get data for this object which is user. Alright, so first of all we have this URL which is this. Define the type you want to scan the data from the external API into it, as we did in the unmarshal. For example, I want to define a type which is user of type struct. Let's fetch the ID, the name, the email. Okay, let's fetch the ID which is an integer, name which is a string, and email which is a string too. And let's do this: JSON ID, JSON name, JSON email. And very important, notice guy, this ID, name, email should match this ID, name and email, otherwise you will not get any data. Alright, define the user, create the decoder and pass the response body. So in the main function let's do a GET request. We will use the HTTP package, and this GET will take, we will use this GET method, and it will take just one parameter which is the URL, which is this one. We pass the URL and this return a pointer to a response and an error. So response error. So let's check for the error as usual. If I don't have anything, I want just to, let's log.fatal, because I don't need anything, and stop. Alright, always close the body. It's something like when you handle files, always close the file to deallocate the resources. So defer response.body.close. Alright, now we need to create the decoder and pass the response body. What is the decoder? Decoder, it's from the JSON package 2. JSON new decoder, it will take one argument of type IO reader, which is the response body. Response.body, it will return the decoder. Now we have now everything inside this decoder, so we want to loop inside this decoder and scan all the data into our user type, right? So to do this we need to specify an instance of this user. So let's do it. Var u of type user. Now we need to loop through the decoder. Alright, use infinite loop to decode data. Okay, we use infinite loop because we don't know when this will end, so we use infinite loop. Alright, for we need to decode everything inside this user through the for loop, and this will return an error, just an error, and this is very important. Let's handle this error. You see guys, we create a decoder and inside infinite loop because we want just to stop this loop when we have all the data. So we create a decoder, we use this decode method from this decoder, and we pass this user. So here, very important thing, but I will do it as usual to show you. So let's handle the error. If error is not nil, log dot print ln, let's do usual error, and let's pass the error. Since we don't know when this will end, we will handle another error, which is, let's do it. If error it's equal IO end of file, that's mean if this error will happen when we scan all the response body, which is this. So when we finish scanning, we need just to break. Alright, so now it should be done, and all the data, not of course not all, just this field that we specified here, should be inside this variable. So let's see, fun.printf, let's see id, which is an integer, and name, which is a string, and pass u dot id and u dot name. Alright, again specify the URL, we specify our type, we pick just the ID, the name, and the email. These should match these, otherwise you will not see the data. We make a GET request and we get the response. We handle the errors, and as usual, it's good practice to close to deallocate resources. We created the decoder and we passed the response body to this decoder because this decoder take one argument which is of type io.reader. We specify the variable that we want to scan all the data from the response body inside it. So we do this inside an infinite for loop because we don't know when this response body will finish. So we decode all the data from the decoder inside this, and we handle our errors. And here a notice, but let's do it as usual. We handle the error, and as I said, we have another type of error when the response body is finished, which is this. So we handle it, and when it's finished, we break. We don't need to do anything else. And here we print the data. Let's check. Run and build. Alright, I have the ID and I have the name, which is ID1, and name Leon Graham. Nice. But by the way, you see guys, we have this error, usual error. Why? I think I know. Yes, important. Handle the IO end of file error first and break, otherwise you will have the error always. And this is what I mean. Let's check for this error before the other one. Alright, and let's see Now it's logical. After we finish the response body, that means we match this, so we will break, so we will not get here. Let's try it again. You see now it shouldn't have this. Let's clean, try, and you see guys, we don't have this error now because we didn't get here, because we break. We scan everything, we finish the response body, so we match this type of error, so we break. Nice. Now maybe someone will ask me, okay, I want to get the address also, for example, or the company. No problem, it will be just another struct embedded on the parent struct. Let's do it. So let's do another type here, which is company of type struct, and let's have the company. Let's have this. I want to show you something very, very important. Catchphrase, which is of type string. Let's do this JSON. You see guys, catchphrase, which is a snake case, but here we have catchphrase, which is a camel case. Let's keep it like so, and let's see, can we get this? So now we need to embed this company here. Everything is still the same, we have everything here. Just here, let's do this company catch phrase. Okay, which is should be user company dot catch phrase. Again guys, we create another type here, which is company. We need this field, just this field from the company, and we embed it inside this user because it's inside this user object. Let's see now, can we get this? Oh, company catchphrase, we don't have anything. Why? This is because of this. Here, as I told you, here we have snake case, but here we have a camel case. So as I told, for this should match. So catchphrase also should be catchphrase here. Again, try. Oh, you see now guys, we got the data. So here we use this user, which is here, which is of type user. Inside this we fetch the company, and we fetch the catchphrase, which is here. And this and this should match this and this and this. And now guys, we have everything. Okay, and if you want, for example, to get all the users, I believe this API will get you just 10 users. Yes, 10. We can do it, but I will let you guys do it because it's absolutely easy. Nothing there, just here. When you pass this var user, we do it just like it's a slice of users. Alright, and we have everything here. Okay, I did it. So let's see. You see now this, let's name it users, and here, since that after that we will have this array, which is a slice. So now we cannot do this because the users now it's a slice. So let's loop through this user and get the name, for example, and the company phrase. I don't care about the index, I care about the user. It's range users font dot f print if user name is and company phrase is also a string, and let's make alright. So what is the username, which is this user here dot name, and the company phrase will be user dot company dot catchphrase. You see guys, it's very simple, but here we need to change the URL. Now we will get 10 users, and just this is for the let's keep it user, and this it was as before. You see, just we change this to a slice, and now in this user we have all this data here. For each user we have the ID, the name, the username, and company phrase. And just for test we just print the username, which should be string, and the company phrase. Let's see it. Run. Voila. You see guys, we have everything here. We have the username and the company phrase. Username, company phrase, username, company phrase. That's it for this tutorial guys. Please, if you have any question, write in the comment. And that's for this tutorial. So thank you guys. Please subscribe and share. Thank you, and see you in another tutorial. Thank you. Goodbye.